And Gene, let's actually start with the Meta story, because when we looked earlier at the best performers in the S&P 500, the top performer was Meta. It was up by over 3.5% this morning. Now it's up a little bit less. But again, this is coming on some pretty ghoulish news that they are looking to chop employment to the tunes of potentially thousands. Now, if you look into it, they were adding a lot of bodies since the pandemic started. What happened? Is this necessary?
Totally necessary, and I think the action in the pre-market speaks to the pain point, the pressure point of investors around the Meta story. Recall when they reported their September results, the immediate reaction of the stock is it was up 8% on the DAU and the revenue numbers, and then it absolutely imploded when Zuckerberg doubled down, said he'll be increasing spending on the metaverse, his reality labs, and I think that speaks to this issue around headcount. In this case, he's probably going to cut, they haven't given the specific numbers, but it's probably 10%, which would be the largest headcount of any of the big tech companies, obviously far less than what Twitter did. But this is a step in the right direction. In some ways, I'm a little bit surprised to see the stock reaction, given Zuckerberg talked about this on their earnings call a couple weeks ago. Specifically, he said that headcount would effectively remain flat a year from now. So what's essentially going on, Becky, is they are reducing headcount, call it by 10%, and they will be adding headcount within the metaverse. And I think when you put all of this together, it's some welcome relief for Meta investors, and Loup being one of those investors, but it still doesn't solve this show me part of the story. It's good that they're showing some fiscal responsibility, but still, the future of Meta is going to be largely dependent upon the metaverse, whether that moves, what direction that moves in.
Let me just dig through that. This is what he told us before, that the metaverse employment would be increasing. But is this going to be a net cut of 10% or net cut of 10% of what you see now, and that's going to be flat with where they stand right now, 87,000 employees?
They'll cut by 10%, and then they'll start to hire back in reality labs. So when you put all this together, they had this massive hiring binge in 2020, 2021. 2022 they started, but effectively it'll be flat at the end of 2023. And for investors like ourselves, we really want to see that headcount number reducing in 2024. And just to put one further point on that, Becky, is that they've talked about this $10 billion in spending. That is in large part, they're sticking to that $10 billion for reality labs.
Right.
That number probably should be $5 billion.
Okay, let me just ask this. Is the market potentially getting this wrong now? Did they get this wrong when Zuckerberg talked on the conference call? Because if he's saying the same, if the journal is reporting basically the same stuff, just a different level of details, and people are focusing on the layoffs instead of the additions that are going back, did it not make sense how the stock reacted when he spoke? Or does it not make sense now when the stock's up on the same news? It's just a different way of saying it.
Yeah, it's a different way. My guess is I think it probably should have reacted better a couple weeks ago when he talked about some of the flattening. I think that just the sheer volume of his words around the metaverse and continuing to spend on that drown out, I think, what was his what was a logical approach to their overall headcount. And so this is to be This was essentially to be expected. And again, they're going to be basically flat a year from now in terms of headcount.
I was shocked at the numbers. I mean, we're talking about 87,000 people total. 42,000 of them have been added since 2020, since the pandemic began. So you doubled your workforce over that period of time. I guess maybe people should have figured out.
Double the workforce. Revenue grew nicely, too. It was growing 40% for a few quarters there. But yes, they clearly overbuilt here. And even with these 10% reductions, it still doesn't get to where they need to be. I would have felt, I think the stock would be up more if they would have talked about, if they would give more specifics and more like a 20% headcount reduction. Mm-hmm. So he definitely wants more out of their employees, too. I think that's another angle to this, is that not only are they having headcount reductions, but he's made comments recently about wanting 200% more out of existing people. And then in June, he had comments saying that Meta is not a place for everybody to work if they don't want to put in the time. And so I think you're really seeing this company grow up when it comes to some of their fiscal responsibilities.